Hey guys, how are you guys? I'm the author of The Stories of Tim Stone, Private Detective. My name is Paul McIntyre, and I'm going to be reading an excerpt from the book. And after I read the excerpt, I want to make sure that you guys know that if you like what I've read, then you can go back and buy the book, purchase it. You can purchase the book at Amazon, Ingram's. It's out everywhere. iBooks. You can also go to www.lulu.com /spotlight /Tizwan, and that's the storefront for the book. So if you guys like what you're hearing, please feel free to go and purchase the book. I'm gonna be reading from the first case in the book, and it's called Mob Boss. Okay, and in this story right here, basically speaks for itself. It's called Case One, Mob Boss. It all started on a hot San Diego night. I was sitting at my desk wondering where my next case was coming from. I got up to get myself a cup of Java when my office door slammed open. Standing there was John Mancini, the biggest crime boss in San Diego. He walked over to my desk and threw down enough money to choke a mule and said, "I want to hire you." I then thought to myself, why? Why would he want to hire me when he could use his own hired thugs? Then it came to me that his hired thugs are incompetent fools. So I asked him, why me? He said, "I heard that you are the best when it comes to finding people." So I asked him, "Who are we looking for?" He asked me if I would take the case, and I looked at him and said, "That depends on who I'm looking for." He then reached into his pocket and pulled out enough money. Oh, excuse me. He then reached in his pocket and pulled out a picture of a nice looking young man. Then he gave me the picture and said, I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him. I act I acted as if I were joking. "Why do you want to find him? Do you want to kill him? Does he want to kill you?" He looked at me and said, "He's my son." I was amazed because John Mancini was thought to be childless. I told him that I would take the case, but it was going to cost him. So he gave me $10,000 now, and he said when the job was done, I would get 10,000 more dollars. So I said, "Okay, but I would like to know when the last time he saw his son alive." He said, "About 10 years ago." I knew that this was going to be one of those cases where I was going to need to pull some favors. After John Mancini left, I jumped into my Jeep and drove home. I woke up about 10 o'clock a.m. and went to my dirty kitchen and made myself a hot cup of Java. I sat down at the kitchen table and thought about what had happened last night. Now I have a case where I have to find someone that had been missing for 10 years. So I thought I had better get started. John Mancini had given me the name of a girl who lived downtown on Broadway, so I guess that was a great place to start. On my way to the girl's apartment, I was thinking, can I trust this John Mancini? He's the biggest crime boss in San Diego, after all. So I thought I should pack some steel. I pulled up to the apartment building, and to my surprise, The cops were already there. So I walked up to the apartment where everyone was and ran into my good old buddy, Lieutenant Tom Jones. What an asshole. He walked over to me and asked me what was I doing here. I asked him what was he doing here. He told me that a young girl was murdered here last night at about 12 o'clock a.m. I asked him for the name of the person, and boy, was I in for another surprise. It was the same girl I was coming to see, Miss Kim Gray. While I walked around the apartment, the lieutenant asked me what interest do I have in this mess. I told him that I was working on a case of a missing person. As I walked the apartment, I noticed pictures all over the floor torn into pieces. I bent to pick up a piece when I saw a phone number on a piece of paper under a chair. It had the name Mancini written on it. So I put it in my pocket so that I could follow up on it later. I took one more look around the apartment to see if there were any other clues that could help me find the missing boy. As I was leaving the apartment, my pager went off. I took a look at it, and it was my secretary. I went back to my Jeep and called her using my cell phone. When she answered, she said that a man called and asked that I meet him at Seaport Village at 12 noon. She said he would be wearing a blue blazer and that he would be standing near the gazebo at the end of the park. I reached the park about 11:45 a.m. I wanted to get there early just to scope the place out to be sure it wasn't a trap. I had been waiting about 20 minutes when a tall, slender man walked up wearing a blue blazer. He sat down next to me and lit a cigarette. After he took the first drag of the smoke, he looked at me and asked if I was the famous PI named Stone. I looked at him and said, "You got me here. Now talk to me, and it better be good." He told me that he has some information and pictures on the Mancini boy. He handed me the envelope with the 3 pictures in it of the Mancini boy. On the pictures with the Mancini boy was the girl whom I had seen dead earlier that morning. He also told me that the Mancini boy was with the girl 1 hour before she was found dead. I asked him what was his angle in all of this, and he said that he just wanted to see the boy safe. I went back to my Jeep to take a look at everything that I had in this case. Now, you guys want to hear the rest of this? All you have to do is go to www.lulu.com/spotlight/Tizwan and purchase the book, and you will be impressed. Thanks, and enjoy the reading. See you next time. Learn something new every day. Peace.